Dear colleagues, welcome back again. Today we are going to carry on, in this video we are going to carry on with Visual Studio new codings. First of all, we are opening Visual Studio, and the next part we will do some example. And from last video we learned how to open a new project. So after we open this new project, console application means, like, shortly it is like black screen, and here is the name of the file. Every time you see first program as a name of the file in the books, and in the lectures also teachers are using the same word. Anyway, I click OK, and you know what's this? This is the folder location for the first program. I click OK button, and for the beginning, as you see on the screen, it's creating the project. And here we have, let me make it a little bit bigger, we have programming part. So as you remember from the previous time, so here in this area we can write our codes. So generally in this video I would like to show you how can you show outputs. First of all, as I mentioned before, it is console application. That's why I start to write here console. And as you see, when I start to write C, the one which starts with C capital letter or small case letter comes in the list. When I say O, CO, N, and then console comes, as you see. So what is this? When you just press some buttons or some keyboard, some keys from keyboard, a list opens here. This list is called IntelliSense property of the C#. So IntelliSense, what does it do? It helps us to get rid of, to write some mistakes. For example, now I'm writing a console. So as you see, when I say console, there is a red line. What does it mean? There is an error. Why? Because I just made a mistake. So I had to write here console. This is the proper one. So what must I do then? While I am writing here is much better when I start to write console. So as you see, this one came. You can double click on it, it comes here. Or after you start to write and press the next button that you want to press, it comes automatically like this. And the first thing is I would like to show here is write, and open close parentheses and open close double quotes, and in the inside I write hello. And in normal sentences at the end of each line we are putting full stop in the real life, but for C#, if you would like to say that statement is finished, we have to put semicolon. So I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. So here in the main program we are writing our codes by using semicolon at the end. So what's happening here? This console is a book, let's say, to understand what's happening in the system library. So we go to system library, we find a book which is console. I'm just saying you at the moment it's a book, but in the future you will learn from these videos it is a class, but I'm just saying you. So it is in this system library. In that library we have a page which is called write. So processor is going to the system library. In that system library finds the console, and from the console book finds the write page, and in the write page do this. Do this means in parentheses you are going to write, you are going to show everything what you see between these double quotes on the screen. Now, as you remember from the previous video, here is the debugging button. Generally CTRL Control F5 to run the program. Now I'm going to run the program by pressing Control F5. When I run the program, so as you see on the screen, hello appears, and then next press any key to continue. When you press any button, program finish. So this program runs and is just showing this hello because between double quotes. And how do I understand it should be shown on the screen? Because of this write. This is one page, let's say, in the book. Which book? In console book. Console book, where is it available? It's in system. There are some other libraries. The one that we are using, which are going to be related to those libraries. I don't need to memorize at the moment which library has which book or which book has which page. So slowly, step by step, while we are continuing, we are going to understand. Okay, so the first thing is console write to show something in the between quotations. Console write. There is one more word which is console write line. Look at here. So here I change the code from write to write line. What does it mean? It means when you write hello, okay, let's just show this way first. When you write console write, that's your comment, and then on the screen you can see hello, and then press any key to continue. It comes just immediately after that. But instead of console write, if you write write line, again when you run, you can see hello, and in the next line press any key to continue. So what I understand here, this code between those double quote, when you run your program, console write, it writes it, and just after O, the next step starts. If you just make console write line, then you write this hello, after that go to next line and carrying on. So it is capital L, you don't need to memorize it, but you may forget it by putting like small case L. Then you can see red underline. When you see an underline which is red, for this program I'm talking about, for this interface I'm talking about, it is a syntax error. Syntax error. If there is a syntax error, when you run the program, it doesn't run. Okay, it asks you, do you want to continue the last successful one? So no at the moment. And then when there is an error, that error comes here at the bottom. There is a window here, error window, and then system console does not contain a definition for console write line. So what is the problem? Is a syntax error. That's why I'm not writing like this. I'm deleting this part. Console dot, when I start to write, as you see, write or write line. With arrow keys I can choose which one I like. When I press enter, so it is with the capital letter and the correct one. So that's why this is the perfect one, and then you can see hello on the screen. Now after hello, by putting space here, 1, 2, 3 space, and I'm going to write again console write line, and in quotes, how are you? What will happen? I must put a semicolon at the end of each line. What will happen? I'm going to see on the screen hello, and you see there are 2 spaces here, and then how are you? When I run it, between hello and how are you, there are no spaces. So I understand now altogether that we understand. Putting spaces here, even if it is 10, it doesn't impact to the codes. That space is useless. So that's why hello, no space, how are you comes here. But seriously, in the screen, I would like to have space between those 2 sentences. Then what am I going to do? So console write line is the code, open close parentheses and full stop. So what's going to happen? This hello will be seen on the screen, and console write line nothing, which means that space only, and console write line how are you? Let's see. As you see, hello, there is a space here, and after that how are you? So this way you can use console write or console write line. If you don't use console write line, look at here, I'm putting console write only like this. What's going to happen? As you see here, there is a red line. Why? Because console write cannot be used as it is. You must just put something here, and you can put one space, for example. What will happen, because it is console write, you are writing this hello on the screen. Next, after O, just after O, console write, just after O you put a space. Next, after that space, just after that space, you will put console write, how are you, question mark. After question mark, you are going to see press any key to continue, as you see on the screen. Okay, so here space comes from the second line, and here just after question mark, press any key to continue, screen comes. So by this way, we learned how to use console write. And the next step, I'm going to write here, console write line, console write line. This is my first program, and full stop in real life, semicolon in the programming part. Let me run. Hello, how are you, question mark. There is no space here, just immediately after question mark. This is my first program, and here press any key to continue doesn't start because it goes next line. Why? Because of console write line. Okay, so from this point I can carry on to show you something else. So here, this is the program. Let me make it smaller. Let's say we are going to print out this page, and we are going to hand it out to our teacher, and then we will give. And teacher is asking who has this program, and I would like to inform here on top, for example, on top, I would like to inform here name. Sorry, as you see, when you start write name, namespace comes from the IntelliSense. By pressing escape, I close that IntelliSense. Name is Edip Şenyürek, and the number is, student number is 1 2 3 4 5 6. And just after that, as you see, when you try to run the program, before you run, if you look at here, there is a red line. If you look at here, there is another red line. So what does it mean? Remember, it is called syntax error. It is called syntax error. What are we going to do then? So this part has been, this part, when the processor looks at here, it sees there is a name. What is name? So this is the first time that it sees. That's why there is a syntax error here. Because of that, it impacts everywhere. So what are we going to do? We are going to tell the processor that this is not a code. You don't need to worry about it. To not worry about it, this is our special word, special letter, which is // double slash. When you put double slash, what happens after those double slash? This part is not a code. This is just explanation part. So then this is called, this / is called comment line. So I'm just making this also comment line. Then, as you see here, there is no error, and when you run the program without any problem, without touching at this Edip Şenyürek and that number, program runs normally and immediately, as you see. And look at here, this part is the explanation part, this part is comment line. So anywhere in your program, I deleted, anywhere in your program, here for example, you can open, say Edip, you can open, say hello, you can open, say how are you. So all those doesn't matter because it's comment line. If you just make comment line, this part is not going to be run when you run the program. Look at here, Edip, hello, how are you? They are not here. Where does this how are you come from? Not from here, definitely coming from here. You don't want to see it's running, it's a comment, it's a code that's going to show on the screen as a like output. If you put here that /, so what are you saying to processor? processor, this part is a comment line. In other words, don't run this part. So we have hello space, this is my first program. There is no how are you. Look at here. Hello, this is my first program. There is no how are you. So I believe this is clear, and those are called comment lines. And one more thing I would like to show you. Let's say this edip hello how are you, this part, I'm going to write from the beginning. Edip hello how are you. So as you see, there are more than one file, there are more than one lines. If there are more than one lines, instead of putting like slash all the time, you see it can be 100 lines as well. So it's going to take time. What are we going to do? Here we open slash carrying on with star and close with star, close with slash. So what's happening here, saying that between those two symbols, between those two symbols, all blocks are called comment block. So they are all comment. So again, when you run, those comments are not going to run. Okay? So what will happen if I put here, as a result, all those part are comment line. That's why only this line is going to run. Let's see. Only this is my first program. You can see on the screen. Okay, this is how console write can be used. And what I'm going to do now, here there is no code which is going to run in main program. So from this point, I would like to talk about console write one more time. When you say console, when you say write line, look at here, you can see console write line console dot write line. When you point here write line open parentheses and close parentheses. So then console write line, look, open parentheses and close parentheses. Between those two there are 1 of 19. So this console write line can be used 19 different ways. One is this one. The second one is you can put a bool value. Bool value. What is bool value? As you remember in the previous videos, bool values are true or false values. So you can write here true, for example, is a value, and at the end you can say semicolon. Let me run it. True comes on the screen. Good. I'm going to delete this part and I will rewrite. Open parenthesis, by pressing this small arrow, it was bool value. The next part is char value. Now we are going to talk about char value. So what was character? Character, the one which is written between single quote, not double, single quote, between single quote. Single quote, for example, capital A. So semicolon at the end. When you run, so you can see capital A comes. So it was bool value, now it is char value. So it is possible to use this way as well. Number 3, char value. Number 4, you will learn in the future time, it is an array. Decimal value. Decimal value, you remember, the floating numbers like this can be seen on the screen. It's a decimal value. You see, without any problem, it's seen on the screen. Another one, I'm not going to show you all of them. While you are doing practice yourself, you can see decimal value, double value is similar to decimal value, float value is similar to decimal value, integer value, a number, for example like this, for example like this, When you run, as you see, that number has been seen on the screen. So next, let's see, integer value, long value, object value, string value. When we talk about string value, we are going to have double quote. So far we have learned this string value. Whatever you have here between those double quotes, when you run, you can see on the screen those double quotes. Between those double quotes, letters between those double quotes. So next step, after string value, unsigned integer, unsigned long, string format. Okay, so this part, string format, this part we will do some examples just now, or just after this video. Okay, anyway, so these are called, in the future you are going to learn, these are called console write line has overloading. So here in between I'm going to say bye for now, okay. When you run it, bye for now, and then we will just carry on to watch the next movies. Okay, thank you very much for now. See you later.